Makes a lot of sense. So Deb, let me ask you, going back a little bit, you talked about this progression from charging, high hourly fees to then kind of the arbitrage or leverage of charging out 1099s and you making the margin between that. So kind of a
Yep.
classic, firm model, even though they weren't full-time employees, they were subcontractors, to this wake up call one day of, what, there's got to be a better way. What does my brand actually stand for? How do I maybe better define my brand? And then what adjustments or changes do I need to make in order to make sure that I'm heading in the right direction? When you were kind of analyzing or thinking through what you want the brand to stand for, changes that you might need to be making, let's say from 1099s to more full-time people, from the old model to the new model, at that point, what did you feel could go wrong? What was the hesitation or the perceived risks? Because I think oftentimes when people look at making big changes in their model, in their pricing structure, in maybe calling out a specific type of ideal client, like being very intentional rather than being broad, there's often fear attached to that because you need to say no to some things. You need to kind of, push away so that you can get closer to what you ultimately want. What was that for you?
Well, I mean, that's my whole business. That's what I do, is like helping other companies think through that. And to some extent, as a consultant in that category, I was a little bit like the carp or the cobbler's unshod children, right? So we had to take like a real close look at like who is our ideal customer, like our archetypal ideal customer, and aim ourselves directly at that. And a couple things that we learned that were somewhat counterintuitive was that our ideal customer was not a marketing doer. Our ideal customer really was a senior leader who was at a critical point. The business is in growth mode, and we work almost exclusively with businesses that have like a grow or die mindset. Our ideal client is the marketing leader, and the average tenure for these people is about 18 months in their role. So they're in there, they're like, be brief, be brilliant, be done. They're innovative. They're recognized by the industry. They don't want to be bothered with the sausage making details of process. They're extremely results oriented. They want to see that their partner has skin in the game. And what they need from a branding and marketing partner is not like putting trains on tracks and making sure that they're running on time. What they need is someone who is going to push them to do the very best they can, not just the very best they can, but whatever it takes in order to lay new tracks. So it's a different kind of relationship. And we put a velvet rope around that. Like, I love in the new business process to tell people, I'm like, I suspect we're not going to be a very good fit. You know why? Because if you don't have the stomach for the hard work that we do, our number 2 core value on our list of core values is we do hard things. Like, the work of branding is hard, but I've never been through a strategy engagement that didn't result in someone from the leadership team being misaligned and sometimes leaving the leadership team or going to a new project or something like that. If you don't have the stomach for that, we're not the right fit. So um, the process of figuring that out was doing a lot of things that were counterintuitive to the rest of the industry. So most people get their branding services from either design focused firms like creative firms, and they start with a creative first approach, or they go to traditional advertising agencies. We do something that's very, very unique, which is research and strategy led branding. And we start with strategic branding first, and that's counterintuitive. But then the way that we charge for the services was also counterintuitive. So if you go to any other kind of firm in this category, they charge you by the hour. They set up a retainer based relationship, right? And you work down those retainers and then you bill by the hour, like once you've run out of hours. I said, we have a unique strategy led process where we're charging you for the value of the deliverable we create for you and its transformative power for your business. And so going to market with that, it helped us weed out a lot of clients, right? Because I was able to deposition the billing by the hour model. I could say, you know what, your past experiences with marketing partners have probably been hourly billings or retainer based relationships. In my experience, having run businesses that did that, it doesn't drive the appropriate attitude or behavior on either side of the relationship. we have skin in the game and we are going to charge you X number of dollars, a flat fee. It doesn't matter how many hours we spend on it or how few hours we spend on it. What you're paying for at the end of the day is the transformative value of the end product. There were some clients who were like, nope, that's not for me. And if they said that's not for me, then I said that's not for us. I have never billed by the hour. I'm taking over a client for another consultant right now, and she's been billing by the hour. I can't even get my head around an hourly contract. Like, I don't even know what that looks like. Literally, for the entirety of the 21 years that I've been building this business, we have done everything on a flat fee basis. Every project has a beginning, a middle, an end, deliverables, results, and that is what our clients are paying for. And I will tell you, it's made the business profitable. It's been made the business um, difficult to manage because in many cases, I don't have sources of recurring revenue. So it makes it a little bit unpredictable. And to some extent, I'm beholden to like, where's the next project coming from? But we've been really fortunate to enjoy a lot of very, very long term relationships with clients, some of them going back to 2004. One of them that I'm thinking of, like tens of millions of dollars worth of projects for this client. And we still do several million dollars a year with them on individual project basis. So does that answer your question? But that, that was really something that it's counterintuitive to the industry and it was unique. And at
Sure.
first I was like, all right, I'm really shooting myself in the foot because I need to keep all these people busy and bill them by the hour. And taking the leap to be like, nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this on a project basis because it delivers unique value to the kinds of clients we want to work with. That was a big risk.